was raised in Mithdrana, which is like deep west.
Deep West.
And what she would have told you so far was just that it was mostly like an elven based kind of community civilization that did have problems with fiends from time to time. And yeah, she lived there with her mother, father, and younger brother. I think that's kind of all she would have divulged.
And she loves animals
thus far. Yeah. Yeah. And I guess so. So Mithdrana was like there's a lot of like magic around the city. It was kind of like protecting, like a very ancient kind of power, like protecting the city in a way. And like Kira spent a lot of time out of the city, like in the surrounding forest, with animals and stuff. So she didn't spend a lot of time around magic, so she doesn't know much of it, and she wasn't really influenced by it or affected by it so much. But her brother was. And that's, she would have probably mentioned that as well.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
Keyboard.
So what I was telling to Jamie and Crab before was that because Day was not joining us, I was a little bit unsure as to what I was going to be doing this session. And then I did have an idea before. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slightly redo the end of last week's episode. So where we'll be picking it up is in the Temple of Rhea, the goddess of life.
That was where I was.
So I think.
Restored.
What are you saying, Jamie?
That was where I was greater restored.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how I'm picturing this is after take Sister Taylor and Tonk to the Temple of Rhea. They perform greater restoration on Tonk, and they perform some healing magic on Sister Taylor, and then allow you to spend the night there, as it was still middle of the night when you guys were moved there, as time kind of worked differently between the dream space and reality. So where we'll be picking it up is the next morning. This also allows you guys to follow up the orphanage storyline if you want to, because as we left it last week, it was kind of open-ended because we had finished it in back at Elric's home. So Ayala would have still snuck out, but rather than being from Elric's home, it'll be from the temple, and then Kira following Ayala. Still all applies, except it's all just now based moving from the temple to wherever they went.
Sure.
So that's the only retcon I want to do. That way you guys are kind of clear to kind of pick up from there. But where we'll start this week's episode is in the morning at the in the Temple of Rhea, with Tonk waking, Ayala still not having had a long rest, so you are currently suffering a point of exhaustion. And Kira ended up going back beforehand, only needing 4 hours. So it was still more than enough to be able to receive a long rest.
Cool.
But as you, Kira, you're Ayala, you're sleeping, but having only just probably got back into bed probably an hour ago or so, and still quite tired. You hear a knock at the door.
And this is in the room we're staying at the temple.
This is correct.
Wait, who hears a knock? Sorry, me.
The three of you.
Oh, right. Okay,
You're
sure.
you're all given the one room to allow you to rest
Sure.
and recover.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go. Tok will go over and open the door and see who it is.
Inside, sorry, on the other side of the door, you see a human man, long red hair, who you recognize from the night before, having let you into the temple. You did not get his name, but he knocks on the door and I see you're awake. I brought some food that you that the temple has offered for you. I just wanted to see how you're doing.
Well, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a night, I guess. Thank you very much for what you were able to do for me and in casting Greater Restoration on myself, so I could.
That actually wasn't me. That was our head priest.
Oh well, yeah, sure.
Head priest Raider. No, I'm merely just a low level priest of the temple. My name is Aaron.
Oh well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Aaron. I think I have some questions for the head priest, if I could go and speak with them, just in regards to this situation.
Of course, they're currently in the main altar area. If you'd like to come through now, you can follow me.
Yeah, thank you.
Aaron, did Sister Taylor spend the night here as well?
She did. She's still currently sleeping. Her wounds were quite bad. We have done our best to heal her, but some of the injuries she sustained were a little bit beyond our capabilities. But she is resting now Sister Hilda has actually just left and gone back to the orphanage, but she is still here resting.
Okay.
But follow me. I will show you through the Raider. And he takes you through. You realize you're kind of at the back area of the temple, and he leads you kind of around into a large kind of marble temple. Picture a large Christian church, basically, with pews and a large altar at the front, and then a large statue of Rhea, the goddess of life, behind it. And if you guys didn't see, I did post in the chat the pantheon.
Yeah.
So like
Yes.
their gods and their kind of symbols and things like that. So all around the temple, you do see those 8-pointed suns, basically on the end of each of the pews. They're up on the walls and they're kind of all over the temple itself. But what you do see is an older gentleman. He is white on top, no facial hair, and fairly spry for what you guess is a man in his probably late 50s, early 60s. But he is currently just doing general work around the altar.
Raider, good morning.
Well, glad to see you're up. Good morning.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, I'm up thanks to you, so thank you very much. I wanted to speak with you in regards to what happened at the orphanage. What can you tell me of Sister Taylor's injuries?
Well, when she first came in, she had quite a few. It is actually quite strange. She had quite a few incisions, I guess you could say, or puncture marks. But they had actually healed up a fair bit, but they were hemorrhaging in a way. So she was still bleeding quite a bit, which is what we ended up having to heal. Um, Otherwise, there were bruises. It looked like she had been attacked, to be honest. That would be our first assumption. But as of right now, all of her external injuries have been healed. And as of right now, she's mostly just resting.
Can you take me to her, please?
I
Or
am
can
sorry.
can I be shown to her, please?
While she is currently resting, I think it would be best if she um, just use some time to rest and gain her strength back.
Okay.
Um, have you heard or do you know of? Excuse me, sir. I'm Ayala. Do you know of or have you heard of this circumstance happening before?
I can't an attack or
No,
an attack of this nature.
the attack of this nature, and specifically, I don't know how much has been shared with you, but um, this possession of this hag, I believe it was more than just a dream. Obviously, like had real life consequences.
At the mention of a hag, kind of a look of, I suppose, intrigue and a little bit of shock there, being that this is the first time he's heard of this. No, it hadn't previously been mentioned. But hag, I'm sorry,
Oh,
I wasn't aware.
oh gosh.
Perhaps
Yes.
if you could explain a little bit in more detail, I might be able to
I'll
assume or give you some more information about some of the more, curious points of this.
yeah, I'll glance over, kind of like looking for Tonk's approval, but just keep saying talking anyways, hoping that he's going along. But
No, I'll
uh,
give her. I'll give her a nod.
I uh, we we were kind of tasked to come investigate the um I guess the conditions in some way of the orphanage. And when we did, we found that um some of the children were sickly. They had something ailing them, something that we
Uh,
couldn't.
yeah, we were aware of this. To be honest, we had sent out a few priests. Um, they were mostly unable to cure any of their. Um, they called them nightmares,
Yeah.
as this was more of a situation of the mind. I must say I haven't actually visited myself, but from what I heard from Aaron and some of the other priests, they did what they could and helped where they were. As the orphanage does kind of fall within the temple's um, jurisdiction per se, but so pardon me asking, but who asked you to uh, have a look?
Just one of the we were gonna go there anyways, being kind of on the charitable side and wanting to kind of share our influence, but one of the children actually approached us and was a bit desperate for help.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so
that
we
is mighty good of you to take time out of your own day to help.
Can I do an insight check on him as just to see what his reaction is and see if it's genuine?
Sure.
Uh, 19.
19. He is giving off a general good vibe. He is a little bit intrigued as to why 3 adventurers per se have taken time out of their day to help an orphanage, as that is not common practice here in Neverwinter. But beyond that, you get a general good vibe from him.
How, Raider, what's your, I guess, opinion on the staff that keep the orphanage? I understand that they're understaffed and there are more children there than what they are able to deal with, but I can't help but feel there may be something extra going on inside.
Well, Sister Hilda has been uh, at the orphanage for quite some time. I'm sure she's coming up on her 15, 20 years mark, something like that. You might need to confirm with her. As for Sister Taylor, she has been also there for a while, albeit not as long. But as far as I'm aware, they both do what's right by the orphanage and by the children, and mostly um, effective in their roles. We haven't necessarily had complaints or anything like that. Obviously, being that the town is a little bit more busy at the moment, we do have more children, and with that brought an influx of disease or sickness. So there are those sorts of things. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, they are both generally good people.
I'm curious. Did one or both of these ladies report the illnesses of the children?
That came from Sister Hilda. Sister Taylor mostly takes care of actually the children themselves, whereas Sister Hilda manages the more orphanage side and that side of things a lot more than Sister Taylor. So that report came from her.
You'd think it'd be the other way around.
Mm.
Good. I find it very convenient that the moment we removed this hag, we come out, well, from what I've been told by Ayala and Kira, my friends here, that the moment that they were dispelled from the dream, that Sister Taylor is found screaming and bleeding. Is it under your knowledge that hags can move said cuts and bruises from themselves onto someone else, or does it happen to them and it happened to be that they were on a dream on the inside and just not showing that they're a hag?
Um, uh, I do apologize. I am not very knowledgeable in this field or this area. But as much as I do know, hags are known to suck the souls of their victims, as far as I'm aware. Whether it be through their kidnapping of their victim, or they actually can invoke slaves or minions to do their bidding. But beyond moving injuries, I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
I really think it's important that we speak to Sister Taylor.
Look, by the sounds of this, I do agree. But
and I think it needs to be done now. And I'm trying to be persuasive. I don't know.
Sure. Roll a persuasion check. And I'll just quickly clarify what you do. So the scream you heard was from Sister Hilda, not from Sister Taylor.
Right. Okay.
Well, you didn't hear. Sorry, the scream that Ayala and Kira heard. So Ayala didn't want to leave you while you were still under. Kira, you went and you found Sister Hilda in the room with Sister Taylor as she was bleeding out. That was the correction.
I was going to ask
15 on my persuasion.
15.
Sure. I was going to ask as well while doing that to Erin of just like asked, like, would it be outside of the realm of possibility that a hag can bind their own life force to someone else?
It's a much better way of wording exactly what I was trying to ask.
It would fall in the
Like
same
when you
realm
hit him in
of
a
his-
dream and it happens for real, but it like Tom should be
Sorry.
the one to be able to say it right as well. Like,
That's not Tonk's problem. That's the player playing Tonk.
Okay, sorry. What was the question? Sorry, are you asking if it can bind itself to?
as far as he is aware, is it outside of the realm of possibility, be it a hag or not, to bind one's life force just to someone or something else, so that if they were to perish or be hurt, then the other the other thing.
Okay. Well, I don't see a reason why a hag could not do such a thing. They are highly adept in the magical art, and being able to link oneself with another is not unheard of. And I must say I wouldn't be 100 completely surprised if a hag or a particularly unique hag in that was able to do such a thing. So yes, I would say that it is a possibility. In
then
terms of your
Tonk would have-
persuasion check,
Yeah.
I am sorry, but while I think it is urgent, I must do my due diligence as the head priest of this temple, and as Sister Taylor is a appendage of this temple in her patronage to the orphanage, I must let her rest, and until she wakes naturally, she must stay resting. But I will assure you, I will assign some of our temple priests to her door so that she's not able to leave until this has been sorted out.
Yeah. Please send us word when she wakes up.
Yes, I absolutely will.
DM question: Does the Temple to Rhea does it come across as like the primary like caregivers of the city, like they're the hospital?
Yep.
Or
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. You while you've been in here, you've noticed just regular citizens entering, praying, leaving, people going into certain rooms or side areas of the temple, coming back out. So it would appear that this is a majority clerics area where people come to be healed, come to be comforted, that sort of things. You do when you came in last night, the two of you that were awake, you did notice that there are a few homeless out the front as well. So this is just a general area of gatherment and kind of welcoming for a lot of people.
Radar, one more question for yes. Well, certainly from me. Is there anything that the church needs from willing people? We are, as you can see, pretty good at what we do in terms of hired help. Is there any concerns that you may have that need looking after, quietly or otherwise?
I must say, at the moment, no. There isn't necessarily anything that the temple is is helpful at the or is requesting at the moment. But I'm sure you're aware we work hand in hand with some of the other temples in the city, and I'm sure that the Hall of Justice will have jobs and things like that or requests. So if you were so inclined to offer your assistance, I'm sure that they would have something there for you.
That's okay. We're on very good terms with
Isa.
Isa at the Hall of Justice. So
Oh well, that is good to hear. And I would definitely say that is the person to speak to if you were trying to offer your assistance where it could be needed.
very good. Well, Raider, thank you very much for your help. Please contact us when Sister Taylor wakes up, and enjoy the rest of your morning.
Thank you. You too. And he'll turn around and begin his work that he was working on again. But otherwise, you are free to do what you want. Per se. What would you like to do?
Probably for me, Tom would be most interested in heading back to the orphanage and finding out.
Speaking
How-
with Hilda.
Well, speaking with Hilda, speaking with
The kids, see if they,
kids to see if they're feeling better,
yeah,
all that sort of thing.
see if they had
Sure.
a night of relief from the nightmare. If we're occupying,
Yeah, if we were the ones that were occupying the
Yeah.
space.
yeah.
Sure.
Thinking about that, you know, while Tonk was finishing up the conversation with Rada, if did I see any children in this space, in the not obviously not in the moments where we were whisked away, but specifically the space of the hag, like have there been any little faces hiding anywhere, like were there like trying to,
Sorry,
like,
do you mean when you were
in
inside the orphanage or inside the
no,
dreamscape?
inside the dream? Yeah, did we happen to see anybody lurking in the shadows there?
Without rolling perception at the time, no, no,
Yeah.
there were no children actually. I mean, other than obviously the ones from the memories.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
particularly in Tonk's dream, there were gnome children running from the goblin invasion. But beyond that, no, there weren't actually any sort of children that you recognize from the
Okay.
orphanage.
Yeah, I think I'm really curious on checking on the kids. I'm worried that I don't know if I just don't know.
We just have to go find out.
Very well. So you head back over to the orphanage during the daytime now, which is probably slightly more comforting for the three of you. But you make your way back over and find it is slightly more busy. There are more children, or not more children, but they are more energetic than the day prior. But yeah, you head back inside. Where do you head first?
I'd probably head straight upstairs to see if
Journey?
thank you. Journey's going okay.
Yep. So kind of recalling where you remember Joni and his brother's room to be, you head over there. You do find Joni in bed and his brother. They are both sitting on their beds talking at the time.
Good morning. They're both boys, yeah?
They are both boys, yeah.
Yeah. Morning, boys.
Good morning.
How are we feeling this morning?
I do feel much better.
Oh, fantastic.
I didn't have a nightmare last night.
Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
And I'll turn to Ewan.
Ewan, sorry, Ewan.
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 Ewan, is this the same? Have you spoken to any of the others that were having the dreams as well? Is this the same thing for them too?
I haven't spoken to any of the others, but some of the other children I did see running around this morning that don't usually do. So
Okay.
it could be, yes.
All right, no worries. Oh, well, that's great news. And are you feeling better? It's not that you just didn't have a dream. You're actually feeling better, Joni?
Yeah, I feel actually better. I don't feel
great.
so tired anymore.
Excellent. Okay. That's great news.
Yeah.
Well, stay out of trouble. Don't do drugs.
What are drugs?
Ewan, do you have any more smoke bombs on you?
Ewan goes very red
my God.
as his brother looks at him in confusion, and then goes, "No, I don't."
Okay. I'm going to give him 10 gold pieces.
He will very quickly accept.
And I'm going to say one gold piece is for 2 smoke bombs. The rest is for you and your brother. Okay.
He'll thankfully nod his head and kind of quickly squirrel away the gold into his drawers.
When we're in town next, I'll come and grab those off you. But in the meantime, make sure you look after yourself.
Okay, thank you for your help.
You're welcome. And I'm gonna walk off to find Hilda.
Yeah, back to being an orphan. Little shits.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
Ayla says under her breath as she leaves the room. Really dark side of it. So
She starts an open flame in the corner of the room.
Hags invading your nightmares is where I draw the line.
Hey, we didn't come here to rescue
Poor
all
and
of them.
undesirable, stay where you are.
So
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
believe the only people who have actually met Hilda are Ayla on the stairs, or was that Tonk on the stairs? Tonk on the stairs and Kira in the office for a brief moment. So
And Tonk noticed the brooch on her that was kind of a bit more
flash than
Yeah.
the other one. Yeah. So it takes you a second just to kind of like walk around the orphanage before you find her in the office where Sister Taylor was. And she's cleaning up the blood of Sister Taylor in the office.
Before we go in, as we no, I don't. No, I won't do that. That's right. I'm
I'd
just
like to
gonna-
hold
No.
sacred flame.
No. Just gonna walk in and
Gotcha, bitch.
They say arsonists like to see the result of their work.
Yeah.
Sister Hilda, the children tell me that last night was much better for them. I hear it was not the same for you.
I don't remember the voice I did for Hilda, but well, I guess we're doing a croaky sort of voice. Well, last night, I'm not sure if your friend told you, and she points to Kira. Sister Taylor was unfortunately injured in some sort of way. She's currently resting at the temple.
Yes. The head priest Raider let me know that was the case. What happened?
Oh, well, I finished my nightly duties. I was doing the dishes and cleaning the downstairs, and I came back up into the office to finish up some paperwork and things the orphanage require. And she was laying there, bleeding out and injured on the floor.
Do I believe it?
Cue us all insight checking, yeah.
Roll insight.
I was like, wait till she stops talking and roll. Damn it.
22.
22.
Whoa. 15 for me. No, sorry, 16 for me.
16.
3.
What?
3. Nice.
Really?
Ayla, you are 100% sure she is lying.
Yeah. You bitch.
Tonk.
Ooh,
As
you
everyone is.
Tonk, she is being truthful.
Okay. Cool.
But she was bleeding out, and I screamed, and then your friend came in, and we took her to the temple, as quickly as we could.
Was she conscious at all when you came in?
No, I tried to shake her and wake her, but I was scared she was too far gone.
Had Sister
Maybe,
Taylor ever
okay.
mentioned to you about having dreams, nightmares similar to the children?
No, I don't think she ever has mentioned something like that. Other than the dreams that the children talk about, she's never mentioned anything about her own.
Have you
ever felt like this?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Have you ever thought of something not quite being right with Sister Taylor?
Roll a persuasion check.
What came into my head is the kid that's like, did you ever, would you
Yeah,
ever,
same.
can you,
I just instantly thought of random twist.
Have you ever?
Persuasion?
Yeah,
11.
11.
Mm.
I'm not sure if head priest Raider told you, but we have both been working here at the orphanage for some time, and she has always been good to the children.
Kind of unfortunate that the orphanage isn't very generously funded. How do you manage? How would you say the funds are kind of rationed?
Well, the temple is given donations, and as we fall under their banner, we receive an allotment from the temple, and that is then divvied out into different areas of the orphanage, whether it be food, repairs, bedding, things like that. We do our best to split what is given to us, and treat the children as best we can.
Mm.
There are no
And
strict
it's
guidelines.
just
As there's only two of us, and Sister Taylor usually takes care of the children more around, I sometimes do have to make decisions about what I believe to be most important. So, for example, all of the toilets recently uh, ceased to work, and we had to cut into some of the children's food budget. It was still enough to feed the children, but it wasn't as lavish as what possibly we would have been liking for them.
And do you and Sister Taylor, you obviously include yourselves in the rationing of the funding? Obviously, you have to look after yourselves and feed yourselves.
Well, when we get our food, we make sure we have enough for ourselves, and when we have a place where we stay on site at the orphanage, so we don't exactly have to worry about those two things. But if we do receive a small amount, as this is our only source of income per se. But yes, we do receive a small amount from the temple as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have any more.
You guys get any
questions.
free time away from the children?
What's correct? What?
Oh, do you guys get any free time away
sorry,
from the
yeah.
children?
Um, before the influx, over the past couple of weeks, we did there weren't enough children to require two full-time staff watching them. So we were sometimes able to manage with just one of us, and we were able to have a day off every week or so. But currently, at the moment, no, we don't get much time off.
Well, I did speak with Sister Taylor about getting some more help. She seemed to believe that that's maybe the limitation of what the orphanage can do for the kids. Obviously, money does help fund, but having extra help goes a lot farther. Is that you have that same census?
Well, any extra help will always be appreciated. And if you've gone as far as to ask the Hall of Justice, that's about as best you can do as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I don't know what else.
Well,
do.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, Tonks. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure we'll be checking back in. I know I personally will. I have good reason to check in on the kids every now and then. So when I'm in town, I'll swing by. But
Kira, as Ayla is saying this to Sister Hilda, you hear some footsteps rapidly approaching the office door.
Is the door closed or open?
The door's closed. And then after a couple of seconds, you hear them approaching closer, and then before you know it, you hear a loud knock at the office door. And you go and you hear, Tonk, Ayala, Kira, are you in there? You recognize his voice as to be Aaron.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, Aaron. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. As
sounds funny.
as you hear that and you open the door, he a little bit frazzled, but he goes, head priest Raider told me to quickly come and get you as fast as I can. Something about Sister Taylor.
Right. Yeah.
And that you should come to the temple as quickly as you can.
Okay.
yeah. Well, we're done here. So
Yeah. Thank you, Hilda. We're
yeah.
going to be on our way.
And Aaron leads you out of the orphanage and back to the temple. Quite quickly at that, Tonk, you're having to run quite fast to keep up with the rest of them. But as
Come on,
you
Jarek.
approach the temple,
Yeah.
you notice some of the city guard out the front. They are talking with some of the priests. The priests that they're talking to are slightly more armored and equipped than the other priests you were talking to. And you head inside to the main area once again, and you find head priest Raider pacing back and forth at the altar. And he notices you come in, turns in, and goes, I am sorry to bring you back so quickly. I know it has only been an hour or so, but I do worry you to say that Sister Taylor is not in her room. We went in there to give her food, her one of her meals, and one of the priests found her not where she was.
Okay. Have we swept? Have we gone through the building in the temple?
The priests that were stationed at her door have swept the building and not been able to find anything. We had a look inside the room and obviously she was not in there. But we've already let the city guard know that she is a person of suspect at the moment, as she has never done something like this before. And as far as we're aware, she's still quite injured and still needs to be resting. So we've put message towards the guard to look out for her.
Can you show us to her room? And who was the last person that saw her?
Oh, absolutely. The two priests should still be there. Follow me. Okay. And he takes you back kind of through. This is on the other side of where your room was, where you stayed for the night while resting. And what you see are the same sort of armored priests. They wear like a tabard, and these are like almost like T-junction armor that kind of comes in from both shoulders and kind of skinnies out towards the middle and leaves like their sides open.
Mm-hmm.
And in the center is that 8-pointed sun, and they are both holding scimitars.
As we're running, but before we get there, I want to just talk to Raider in like a lower tone, but not whispering. But
Sure.
to say, we're going to find her, but I am going to need to cast some stuff on these guys to make sure that they're telling us the truth. And just so, like, let's be honest, have we spoken to her? She may have still been in her room. So let's just skip the politics and let me just do it.
Roll a persuasion check.
God damn.
Can I have advantage because I brought it last time?
No.
Okay. Natural 20.
Let's go.
No.
for a 25.
He, while I am not overly comfortable with you casting magic on my priest, I understand the gravity. So
I'm not
yes,
going to cast anything
yes,
on
you
them
are
that's
able
going to
to.
harm them.
Well,
It's
I would
purely
hope,
just
I would hope
yeah,
not.
clearly.
I can't promise the
but-
same.
Oh, what the fuck?
So he leads you, and you see
Can you even cast spells, you idiot?
you see those two guards, or temple guards, outside of a room with the door open.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the area and
Mhm.
cast Zone of Truth.
Sure.
Which they have to make a charisma saving throw.
Mhm.
All characters
Um,
within 15 feet
Around you or at a point?
around me.
Before you cast that spell,
Oh,
Raider goes up to the two guards and says, "This gentleman is going to cast a couple of spells."
To be honest, I would have told him what I was going to cast.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I assumed.
yeah.
But he's basically just telling them that do not resist.
Yeah.
Except whatever happens.
Yeah.
So they will
Just let it in.
automatically fail. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, sweet.
I passed.
You don't have to do it, dude.
Too bad I passed.
So I want to know everything that happened. And I want to know timeline, and I want to know yesterday.
So basically, these two guards then recount the last 12 hours to you.
I had oats for breakfast.
No.
A bowel movement after that.
And this is an important note for you, Ben. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answer as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth.
Yes. But from their directions from Raider, they are answering as much as they can.
Sure.
So they go on to say that they were told to guard her room by Raider, basically as soon as you guys left, which they did so. 30-45 minutes passed, and then they were one of the priests that were not in that kind of guard area, and more on Aaron's level, brought some food to the door where they knocked and received no response. Then they knocked again, and then entered the room and found no one in the room.
Right. Okay. And this was 45 minutes ago ish.
From right now, this would have only been 10-15 minutes ago.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
You guys probably spent that 10 minutes getting to the orphanage, half hour talking to the children, and then to Hilda. And then by the time Aaron got to you and the time you got back, it's probably only been about 15 minutes since they knocked on the door and found her not there.
Yeah. And when was the last time she was checked on?
The two guards kind of look at each other like we were only here an hour ago. But Raider steps in and goes, well, as far as I'm aware, one of the other priests came in and checked on her maybe a few hours before you guys awoke. You three awoke.
Okay. And who was that priest? And are they still here?
I believe they're still here. He goes, he looks for Aaron, who's standing kind of still half sweating from behind. He looks at him and goes, who was looking after Sister Taylor prior to the guards being posted? And he goes, that would be Priest Tomond.
Okay.
And Raider goes, quickly, get him here.
tried once.
And Aaron runs off to go find.
Can we
find
can we
someone.
look at the room?
Yeah, let's go and have a look in
Yeah.
the room while we're waiting for Tomon to come.
Get me to it.
You head into the room. It's basically exactly the same as the one you were staying in, except it's only got 2 beds in it rather than 3. And one of them is completely made, looks untouched. The other one looks slept in. The blankets are askew. There is a window, but it is closed. And otherwise, there's just like a small table and like a small like wash basin area in the corner.
And
I'd like to like investigate around the bed and the table. Oh, sorry, the bed and the window. For any
Sure.
traces of?
Roll an investigation
Yeah.
check.
I'll look around the table
Ugh,
for like a
investigation.
note or anything like that.
Sure, go ahead. Roll investigation as well.
What would a survival check be like in terms of tracking? Yeah, I just roll investigation. Fucking 5.
Yeah. Hard to say. The bed definitely looks slept in. You have a look at the window. You can't really see any dust traces. Like, assuming you'd be looking for like maybe marks in the dust to say someone tried to move through, something like that. Can't find
Yeah.
anything like that. You have a look. You can't really find anything else.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Detect magic.
Mm.
Sure. What did you get on your investigation, Crab?
12.
12. Pretty much the same thing. There's no note or anything like that. You do find that the small wash basin, there's some water spread around it. Maybe someone cleaned their hands, something like that. But it may have just briefly been used. As for detect magic, I quickly need to check something.
You eating prawn chips?
Huh? No, it's just a piece of plastic that I'm.
No, Joel.
Oh,
Joel's eating.
Had Thai for dinner.
Nice. Oh, that sounds so good.
Just saving it. I've gone through a whole bag.
My mouth is watering just like thinking about eating.
I haven't had them in fucking years.
We used to make our own.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to like.
You do see some magic, Crab.
Okay.
Sorry, Jamie. You see a. Hold on, I have to read detect magic now. 'cause now
It's,
I'm
I've got it up. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its score. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
No, you don't see any magic.
Damn. Okay.
How long does that last for?
Let me have a look.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Concentration.
You walk out of a room and it's just, oh god, everything's
Yeah,
magic.
I feel like if I walk out like of this room, like it's gonna
be blinded, flashbanged by the magic.
As you
magical
walk
items.
out, you do see lots of magic. Yes,
Yeah.
that is the
Oh,
case. If
God.
there is just the stand, but it is not something that
It
is going. I mean,
wouldn't alarm me.
correct. It wouldn't
being-
alarm
yeah,
you.
being in a temple.
Yes, and I'm pretty. Do you
Ugh.
you learn the school as well?
I do.
Which is the more important part. Uh,
This is
Of the temple magic.
this is gonna throw a curveball. I bet. Yeah.
Illusory.
Sorry, as you walk out of the room, you see the standard. I actually can't remember what it is. So the standard school of magic that you would consider magical light to be.
Yes.
And then you notice something down the hall, which is a different aura of magic.
I'm
And it
yeah.
is a small dot floating away.
What's the school?
Transmutation.
Would I recognize this as a scrying spell?
Scrying is not transmutation. That's divination.
She's turned herself into a frog and she's a mouse. And she's run away.
Can I follow the dot?
You can.
Follow the dot. I'm imagining in my head that it's like glowing red and everything else is growing yellow.
Yes, I imagine the same because
Yeah, cool.
there would be different
Auras.
auras based on kind of what they are.
But no red in the room.
No, there's nothing in the room. But as soon as you left the room is when you saw it.
How far away from this?
It's getting away. But as you start to kind of move closer to it, your eyes adjust. But before yours do, Kira's adjust a bit quicker and see that it is a small flying bug
How far away is it?
flying away.
How far away?
How far away?
Yeah.
It's kind of moving towards the large center area of the temple.
Right.
But currently it's probably about 40, 50 feet from you.
Dispel magic.
Dispel magic. As soon as you cast that at the fly, it reshapes into Sister Taylor.
I don't have hold person, damn it. Grab her now.
And you see everyone kind of turn to where you've cast this spell, who then see kind of Sister Taylor transform.
What does she look like? Does she look still injured, hurt?
She looks injured, although not as much as probably what you remember her to be. And upon kind of her changing back into her standard form, then starts to kind of book it out of the out of the temple. What are people's speeds?
Slow. 25.
I'm pretty fast if
40.
I have a whole turn to move.
What'd you say? 30?
Mine's 30.
40 for me.
Mine's 30, but I can move. Okay, so I can use 15 feet of my movement to have my echo move 30 feet on her own. So I technically have 45 feet of movement that I can do every turn. Because I can teleport, move them up to 30 feet away from me. I mean, they can get as far away as long as my turn doesn't end, then them be 30 feet away from me, and then teleport to them. So I can at least move 45 feet every turn, or as one, and then my action to move again. So that would be another 30. So it's like 75 feet that I can move per turn.
Like with dash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I can move 50 feet with the dash.
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah, but obviously everyone else can move 60.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be way in front of me.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to catch them.
No, I'm not.
Catch them. Um, yeah. Okay. So basically, everyone sets out after her as she is trying to quickly dash away. I'd say she probably does get out of the temple before anyone kind of reaches up to her.
Mhm.
But seeing that those guards the city guards are still out front, probably not having enough time to necessarily react, but she actually does get past them. It would mean that they would probably be the closest person to them, or to Sister Taylor before they do catch her, because their movement would be 40. I just had to look up what guards were. But they do eventually catch her, and you are. It does take you a moment to kind of catch up to them, but once you do, they have her grappled and held down.
How long has it been since I cast Zone of Truth on those guards?
Probably not quite 10 minutes, I would imagine. Does that
10 minutes.
originate on you, or does it originate on the area, or is it a spot you
It doesn't
choose?
say. I did say I cast it on myself, so but it doesn't actually say. It just says.
The
Oh no, it
concentration-
does. Centered on a point of your choice within range.
Okay, so yeah,
Is
it'd be
it-
around you. Absolutely.
Is it concentration?
It is not.
Oh,
It is not.
cool.
I would like, as soon as I walk up, as soon as she enters, I would like her to make a charisma saving throw.
She succeeds.
Okay, she's got fucking advantage. She's a fucking hag.
Tonk doesn't know that.
No, I know.
That was more than one die.
Sister Taylor.
Impossible for me to hide her. I'd literally have to do it like this, under my desk, away from you,
Ben's like,
and
"Who's here?
then look up. I
Saving throw?"
still succeeded under the table. Yeah, literally.
She
Yeah,
succeeds.
hold on.
Oh my god. all
Okay,
my dice
wait.
went
I have to do
everywhere.
it at the same time. Now you can't tell what I've
No,
done.
yeah.
Honestly,
no,
that is a good point of reference. Just grab
I
a
love
couple
that.
d6s and roll it with it,
I love
Yeah.
just for so we don't know.
Oh, fuck,
Um,
my dice went everywhere doing that. That was not worth it.
Sister Taylor, why are you running the people that are aiding you?
Why are you running?
Why are you a fly? Like,
Yeah, that would be my other question.
Why are you a fly fleeing?
you're lucky. You're lucky.
They're
I'm not a
Can
frog.
fleas fly? Sorry.
Oh god. She's not answering.
My question is.
She is not answering, no. But she is looking directly at Raider as she's basically puppy dogging eyes Raider.
She's still in the form of Sister Taylor, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I really want to try like some CIA interrogation shit, but I feel like it's going to be frowned upon by the temple.
I mean, I definitely believe that you do owe an explanation.
Yeah.
There's no reason you should be running from those that are trying to help you. I mean, we've extended our time and our efforts towards helping you and the children. This just comes
Do
off
we
very
still have-
confusing.
The skin bag with the soul gem.
You do.
Did Tonk take that out with him?
Ayala has it, I believe.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No, I
I
have
gave it to Tonk before.
you gave it to Tonk,
before I got
yes.
dispelled.
it. I have it.
She's still not saying anything.
Can I go up to Tonk and ask for the bag of holding?
You may.
I'll take out the ball bag. And walk up to Sister Taylor. And just and like I'm kind of concentrating on her, looking at her face mostly. Just kind of like push it out to her and say, "Can you tell me what this is?"
Are you trying to deceive what her reaction is when you hold it up?
Perceive? Did you say
Or
deceive?
no, you're just trying to like gauge her reaction to that?
Yes.
Sure, you can roll an insight check. She's still not saying anything.
Can I also roll an insight check on that one, please?
Dirty 20. 15 for 20.
Okay, I'm also rolling. Unfortunately, I rolled terrible.
You have
There is a
15 dice.
slight look of. Wait, what did you say yours was, Jamie?
10.
10.
10. Right,
No, I
okay.
didn't see it. I don't think I see anything.
No, you didn't. You don't notice, but Kira, you do notice there is a slight look of contempt, and kind of like, yeah, probably anger. Slight look of contempt and anger.
Okay. Okay, well, if you're not going to say anything, I guess you don't mind if we keep this then? And I go and slowly kind of put it back in the bag of holding.
At this point, High Priest Raider steps in and kind of kneels down to Sister Taylor and Sister Taylor. These people are trying to help. And if you can please explain why you ran in the way that you did, and please tell us what has been happening at the orphanage, because right now all evidence is pointing kind of to you, which is concerning. He's going to roll a persuasion check. He rolled terrible.
Joel,
Damn.
look at her hands.
And she does.
Was I the only one
respond.
that saw? Yeah.
Yeah, you were the only one that kind of was able to gauge her reaction to you holding the ball bag.
Oh, no, I was yeah.
Oh, wait. So what?
Talking about something else, but no, it's okay.
Oh,
I love
So
that
he's-
sort of bag.
yes. Well, you guys are calling it as well.
What
We'll
it
call it
is,
what it
what
actually is: a
is.
soul bag.
A skin sack.
I mean, I have a soul bag. I mean, it's still
she
accurate.
does respond, and she goes,
I don't know where you guys keep yours.
Raider, I don't know. I don't know what they've told you, but it's not true. Please, if we can speak, I can explain.
Insight check.
Kira runs up, grabs both of her
Sure, you
wrists.
can insight check. She's going to roll as well.
Oh, 16. I was so close to do a 19.
Why are they rolling terrible? What the fuck? These were good rolls before. Okay. 16. Hard to say. It's not entirely truthful though. You have your doubts about what she just said to you. But the persuasion check was not successful on her part against Raider. What did you say, Joel? Did you want to do something?
So, so you seeing, so you know she's given fucking. Keep in my head. I keep calling him Raiden.
Raider.
Raider.
You can
Raider.
probably. He's actually similar to Raiden in like an older, spry type of way.
Just electricity around his fingers. Seeing fucking Taylor try to do like puppy dog eyes, then like avoid all her questions, and I could see that there was a kind of a reaction, a recognition of like the soul bag. And she's trying to like fucking weasel her way out. Kira's going to approach her and attempt to grab her wrists and kind of twist her hands, like just to look at her hands, the palm of her hands.
This is going to be a contested strength check to try and do that. For you to try and actually
This is going to be
twist her
like
hands upside down. She is not forcefully. She's been grappled, so she will have a disadvantage. But she's not going to willingly let you kind of flip her hands over that she wants. So with disadvantage, she had a 17.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my goodness. She's.
I can get Derek to come over and bite her hand off. What was it?
17.
Oh!
I
I rolled a
me-
16.
Okay.
Oh, dude, it's so close.
I will say that this is visible because it was so close. There is a visible
Like
struggle rather than like if you rolled low, this would be like she's just way too strong for you. Like you have no strength to be able to twist her wrists. But because you got within like relatively close to the DC, there is a visible struggle between like the hands kind of wriggling a little bit and like shaking, which then indicates to kind of the people around watching that something is going on. And upon this happening, Raider kind of goes, Sister Taylor, while I understand that you want to explain yourself, we are not in a situation where you are able to speak to me alone. There is more than one person involved in this now. And based on your reaction to that,
I cut him off.
Mhm.
And while she's like struggling and like not showing, I just say, look, we have reason to believe that Sister Taylor is the hag that we fought, and I recall seeing an eyeball in the palm of this hag's hand, and we need her to show us her hands.
And Raider stops, looks at you, and then looks at Sister Taylor. Well, Sister Taylor, can you show us your hands?
I step
which she
within range and train my spear towards Sister Taylor.
The guards, with you doing that, kind of there's multiple now. There's not just the two like holding her. Go, ma'am, please step away. We will handle this, and kind of try and usher you off a little bit.
Don't touch her.
We were not touching her. We don't need citizens getting involved in this sort of thing. And
we're the ones that have brought her in. Don't tell us what we're doing.
That might be the point, but you are not spilling blood on our streets.
Well, she's spilled plenty of blood in your orphanage.
First we've heard of it.
Yeah,
and
okay.
blood hasn't been spilled in the orphanage.
Oh, well, I mean,
who
cares?
But
the truth never
leaky
goes away.
souls.
Anyway, they will try and
Semantics.
kind of cordon off the area, but still allowing you to speak to her, but not necessarily draw a weapon and point it at her. She accepts and turns over her wrists, and they are standard wrists, but there is a small black dot on one hand.
Can I just dispel magic on her hand?
When you do so, it shows the eye that you saw previously.
Only Tom can see that.
After a
everyone
moment,
can see that.
Wait, what?
Everyone, as soon as I
everyone can see that. I actually need to check. Hold on. Let me check something about dispel magic.
This is gonna be good. Fucking cuck
It is
guards that leave.
spell any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. Each spell of 4th level or higher on the target make an ability check using a spellcasting ability. It is 10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah, this is tricky. This is going to require because she's homebrew. She's not.
Oh, there you
standard.
go.
There's also a difference between. I probably should have picked this up when you changed her out of her polymorph. So it says choose one creature, object, or magical effect. Also with polymorph, I needed to roll for it because it's a 4th level spell.
I don't think you roll for it. I think I roll for it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So what's 10 plus
Like
4?
each spell of 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. So the DC would be 14 if it's
For each
For
spell,
polymorph.
4th level or higher on the target, making yes. Oh yeah, correct. So you have to beat a DC 14 to
It's going
successfully.
to rewind.
I mean,
back
it
to
doesn't
the-
matter. It's just, I suppose, out of curiosity, if you actually pass it, because
I rolled a natural 19.
The
So I have
guard, the
27,
guards have a
26.
fly in
Yeah.
their arms.
cool. Yes, yeah, exactly. Then
I'll take one wing.
stay here.
Tell me everything you know.
Okay, so this is why I'm kind of confused because so the dispel magic you did before was on the magical effect of polymorph, which
Yeah, it was on
dispels
the
that.
fly. Yeah, which
This
was
dispel magic is on the creature itself. The
I'm assuming she's got some sort of illusory
well,
word
it's
on there.
it's not a not a spell. It's an ability. It is.
But is it a
part of
magical ability? It
Right.
doesn't necessarily
Yes.
need to be a spell.
Correct. That's what I mean. Like
Right.
if you were a god that had a magical halo that went around you, this is not a spell. Like can
Yeah.
you dispel like that
Yeah, I
halo,
don't
that
know.
sort of thing?
Yeah.
That's what I'm not sure about. So which is why I'm deliberating.
Hmm.
Look, I'm going to
a good point.
allow it in this. I'm going to allow it in this stance because I think it would make sense in this particular fashion. But I do want you to roll for it.
Sure.
I'm going to put this at a DC 15 because that's what her spell save DC was. So you have
Okay.
to beat her spell save.
Can I guide myself before doing that?
Yes, I will say yes.
Cool.
I will also guide you.
Hey, I appreciate Ella's guidance.
I took.
Seriously.
19.
19. Okay, yes. So when she has her hands turned over, the dot on her hand changes to the eye first. And it is the same eye that you saw before, where it's kind of like that eye shape with a black mark in the middle with the green striations like all around it.
On the amulet.
Same as the amulet, same look as the amulet. I think I
Oh.
said that
Did we
before as
know
well.
that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That you were the only one that saw that though. But now we've all seen it.
But now everyone's
Now you have all seen it, yes. And you do make that connection between that and the amulet. But as you do so, the rest of the hand starts to change. The hand changes into this purple dark color, and the hand starts to have the nails start to turn into these large claws. The purple creeps up her arm, and where her nun garment kind of is, or the form of Rhea's nun garment, starts to change color and into a more darkish color, and her whole form starts to change. And then you see her face. Her hair changes into these black ichor hair, whereas it is just like it's perpetually wet and kind of greasy and oily. Her face changes into this evil, grotesque looking hag creature with warts and gangly teeth and these two spindly little horns that come out of her head. And on her garment are small skulls attached to like rope around her waist. And she transforms into her hag form.
Oh damn!
As soon as I see her nasty little beady eyes, I am going to step within range and make an attack with my spear on her. Through the guard space, so I don't know if they're going to try to stop me, but that's what ALO is going to do.
These are just standard guards. They don't have any sort of like way to do so. So make your attack. She is restrained, so you do have an advantage.
Okay.
She is not stunned or like unconscious or anything. so it's not
19 to hit.
19 does hit. But upon you attacking this creature, it stuns the guards for a sec, and they kind of actually can't believe that you can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, right.
They step in and try to restrain you as well. And you
Does the attack go through?
The attack goes through, absolutely, yeah. So
Okay.
she takes whatever damage
11.
you roll. 11, cool.
Mhm.
Will you
This-
fight the guards?
Yeah, I'm
trying
gonna
to
resist
free
it.
you?
This, and I was while doing so, you don't understand. This is a monstrosity of a creature of pure evil. She must be killed.
They're not. They're not arguing with you. They're just trying to restrain you at the moment. So because there's two of them trying to restrain you, this check will be with advantage. Is a contested strength check again.
Mhm.
This will be just whatever they roll, you have to try and beat. I don't know what their plus is. Hold on. Do I still have their these guys? Okay. You have to beat a 15.
Ugh, must be nice.
Natural
They're
nine,
guards. They're strong.
natural 19.
Okay.
Fucking two
So
of them.
both of these two guards then one goes for your hands in like your spear and try and like hold like a wrist and the spear. The other one tries to grab your shoulders, and you manage to.
I'm gonna flavor it as 15 feet away, kind of in the shadow of the side of the building. Echo appears, and she just transports or swaps places with her Echo, and instead of them grappling myself, they're left grappling the Echo.
Sure.
Or attempting to grapple the
I
Echo.
should probably should roll to hit to see if is that how that works? Whatever.
Yeah, if you try, you are supposed to roll to hit if you try.
Yeah, you
to
are supposed to
grapple.
roll to hit. Yeah. Whatever.
It's okay.
It doesn't really
It's
matter.
fine.
But yeah, so you do manage to slip out, and we'll say that you're now 15 feet away. They will then kind of form a bit of a brigade around this creature, holding their shields and kind of holding sword. Kind of, we're not letting this turn into a bit of a kind of scuffle in the middle of the street out in front of the temple.
Whether you like it or not,
Yeah,
this is your problem.
Are you doing this? Are you saying that from 15 feet away from the
Yes.
They'll go. Raider has kind of stepped back. This is not like his cup of tea. He doesn't. He's a priest of life. He's not about violence in that way. And the guards at this point will go, "We will handle this. All of you step back. We have this under control." And they are at this point kind of yanking her up, putting her in cuffs, and kind of locking her up as best as possible. She will be taken to the Hall of Justice. Any further inquiries can be dealt with there. And they are starting to move her away to the Hall of Justice.
Let us know when she turns into a fly again and you need catching her, you fucking idiots.
Tonk,
I will say,
should we follow?
They let us.
Kira, you notice the manticles that they put on the hag look mighty similar to the ones that Evos used to use.
I thought you were going to say thought you were gonna be look
The
similar
ones
to
that we
the-
had
the
crafted in.
campaign one.
Yeah.
Adamantium. What are they called?
Adamantine.
No.
How did they get those? It took us a whole campaign.
If you were Lindell,
Holy shit! I'm fucking around.
the smithy of the god Heliod made these.
But they are dragging her off to the Hall of Justice now.
Hale is just kind of left there, kind of confused.
Turn over to Radar. Where the
Radar?
fuck did Where the fuck did they come from? And who let them make decisions in here?
Well, we are on the streets of Neverwinter, so they do have authority. And as for where they came from, they are patrolling everywhere at the moment because of the influx of people. I'm sure behind every other corner there's two of them. So I'm not surprised that before we knew it, there were a group of 6 or 8, whatever it was.
And they're assholes.
Have you heard
So-
them putting on trial a monstrosity such as this hag? Like, I mean,
Well,
maybe we don't slay her in the middle of the streets, but I guess it's their problem. Maybe it's just another thing they can pay us for later when they can't deal with it.
To be honest, I suggest you speak to the Hall of Justice because while they haven't necessarily, as far as I'm aware, they haven't taken care of a hag before. They do take care of all the criminals inside of Neverwinter, which I'm sure is not just human but elven, tiefling alike. All races, I'm sure they've dealt with. So, look, I do put my faith in Neverwinter, and I think the Hall of Justice will do what needs to be done.
I think you probably don't have a choice.
I think you're right. But again, out of my hands now, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm aware, I now have to find another sister to help take care of the
Yeah.
orphanage.
Yeah, so
So going back to that, how does it come that a high priest or head priest, hires a hag as someone to look after the orphanage?
Well, she wasn't a hag when we hired her, or hasn't done so for the past 7 or 8 years she's been there. So
People don't just become hag. Do they?
well, no, they don't. But I mean, you saw her; she changed shape. Maybe that wasn't Sister Taylor for a while. Maybe
Sister Taylor's in a back room dead somewhere.
as sad as it might be to think about, yes, to be honest, that was what I was probably more inclined to think, that this, as you say, monstrosity has been Sister Taylor for some time now. From what I've heard, the children being sick or ill has been going on for a few months now. So
We did hear of a weird
Storm
fog storm
cloud that came from the center of the Black Lake.
lake. Just yes.
yes, I do remember it. It fully encroached onto the surrounding area of the lake, and fortunately, the temple was outside of its reach, but the orphanage was in that range. So, I mean, I don't see why it couldn't be involved. But yes, I don't believe that Sister Taylor was always a hag. No, I don't think that is the case.
is it possible that Sister Taylor may still be alive somewhere?
Well, we could have
suppose.
asked the hag, but the guards made prompt that she'd be removed as quickly as possible.
Well, I did stab it, so I mean, I guess
Yeah.
And I don't think that they would allow the citizens of Neverwinter to stand there and watch it be questioned in the middle of the
Man,
street. I'm sure they want to do that in their specific area in the hall.
and I don't want to sound like a complete asshole here, but uh, we're not ordinary citizens of the city.
Oh no, I'm not talking about you. I'm
We-
talking about the 30 people standing around us, and around you there
Mm.
are about 30 people watching this happen, including children from around the orphanage. They are all kind of, because you're only about 5-10 minutes probably from the orphanage itself.
Are Ewan and Joni one of them?
No, they're not around. They're as far as you're aware.
God,
Last time you saw
Joni
them,
would
they
have
were in the
lost his
orphanage.
shit, dude.
But there are about 30 people standing around and watched this whole encounter happen. Watched her turn into a hag. Watched you attack the hag. Watched you then disappear and then reappear. So yeah, it was
Yeah,
definitely an interesting
I
event in
guess.
Neverwinter this morning.
Yeah,
So
I guess I guess my point is that we can't control when evil happens or where. I feel a personal responsibility toward maybe her being in this position. I mean, I understand that your faith is in the city guard and that, but there's a lot that is still open ended that we know. I just don't have faith in the Hall of Justice. I guess myself personally, given our experience, they couldn't handle a simple group of ruffians, children looking for something to spend their time on. I don't know.
well, I am sorry you feel that way, but um, they have never done us wrong, as far as I'm aware. And while I live in this city, I'll continue to, as you said, put my faith in the Hall of Justice.
Raider, I think we appreciate your time this morning, and we apologise if this has caused any. Well, and I look around with this wry smile disruption. We went in speaking to Hilda. We want to make sure, and just changing tack from the hag. I mean, obviously, there's nothing more we can do at this moment. Ayla and I would feel, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn to speak for her, more has to be done for the orphanage to keep it in better shape with and properly run. There's been, obviously, I understand that you've sent some priests like Aaron and some others over to the orphanage to work out what was going on, and they couldn't work it out. But more needs to be done to make sure those children are looked after.
I couldn't agree more, and we are now in a situation where it has to be done. So yes, we will hire, or we will look for more help where we can, but not everyone wants to help an orphanage. It is sad to say, but look, we will do our best here at the Temple of Raya, and if whenever you're in the city or whenever you're around, feel free to pop in and provide assistance where you can.
For sure. Is there a way? Speaking with the sisters, it sounded like having an extra hand to help them would be. Is there any reason that there's not a third sister helping? Or brother?
Like I said, it purely based on kind of who wants to do the job.
What
And
does the job pay? What does it cost to have another person stationed?
uh, I don't know what it would be. They have a they are given 3 gold a day. I don't know if that's a lot or not. I can't work it out. I don't know.
I think
They give an average
modest
amount,
living-
a modest amount. Yeah.
Modest amount is a gold a day.
Okay, well there you go, a gold a day. They're given a gold a day. But like I said, it's not about the coin per se. It's about the people wanting to do it. Um, there's a reason why the 2 people that were doing it had done it for such a long time, is because we couldn't find anyone else to help. But I think we are now in a position where we don't have that choice anymore, and we might have to have one of the priests temporarily look after the orphanage, or until we find something more permanent. But as you say, we will now have to find someone more permanent and do what we need to do to take care of the orphanage.
Well, if it helps, and I will take 345 gold, and I will give it to him.
Did you not already give your gold to?
I gave 500 of my gold, but I'm giving the rest of it to him. If it helps, maybe this can motivate anyone to find an additional hand to look after these kids.
I mean, absolutely, that is a generous donation. And I'm sure this might help in persuading someone to help out the orphanage. So thank you.
You're
but,
welcome.
we will do our best to find someone as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Retta. I appreciate it. It means a lot to both of us.
And
And Kira, I'm sure.
he'll kind of, him and the other priests that were outside will.
It's a lot of
Ooh,
gold. Like I'm like pulling out like things of copper.
I assume
The
you're not
whole
just
freaking
carrying
bag of
like,
no.
coins and
We
gold.
no. We
Transferred into platinum.
yeah,
and
yeah,
such
beforehand.
forth. But yeah, they kind of head back into the temple and I suppose try to compose themselves. But what would you 3 like to do?
Well, all this before breakfast.
Yeah.
It is almost 9:30, so we might a drink of water. But yeah, figure out what you guys want to do.
Go talk to Isa.
Because that's going to go well.
I mean, is there any gain from that? Like, I mean, are we going to get anything?
I don't think we're going to find anything out. I don't think.
Yeah, I just don't.
We are.
I know I've like pushed the envelope here, but like I feel like
no one knows shit around here. No one knows fucking into this.
Yeah. It's
The most
not.
knowledgeable people we've
It is
spoken
not
to with it.
something we should. This hag should just let her walk away from us. She's the freaking. She has the eye of Gazgul on her
she nearly-
hand, man.
She nearly killed us. Like this has been something we've worked out.
It's personal.
But yeah, this is like a part of our journey, our story, our
Yeah, I think.
mission, goal.
I think.
I would like to know
We
what's
have to go
going on.
Protest
I would like
outside
to.
City Hall.
We can speak with Isa and see what the plan is for this hag.
Yeah.
For the Hall
I'm
of
gonna go
Justice,
make
maybe
a
not
quick
Isa.
cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate you don't have a 4th party member that's really good at persuading people.
I'm okay at persuading. Just not
You just haven't rolled
amazing.
that good.
I haven't rolled very well. I have +5.
I rolled 8d8 the other night just to see what came out, and I got a 40.
Dang, bro.
5 6s, 1 5, and a 1. I think
Wow.
that's something like that, and like a 3 and a 4 or something.
That's crazy.
I don't know, imagine if that was a fireball.
Hmm.
Is that what Fireball rolls?
Yeah.
86, yeah.
No.
Hmm.
Oh, you said 88. Did you roll 88 or 86?
No, 86.
Oh my goodness, dude.
And rolled a
That's
40.
even more impressive.
Yeah.
And rolled 40, yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the 2 persuasion checks that have mattered the most have not been met.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what Tonk's. Wait, persuasion is wisdom. No, it's charisma.
Mm.
Isn't it? Persuasion is charisma, yeah. What's Tonk's charisma?
+2.
Was that the truth one and dispel magic's 2 spells you picked for today?
Prior to all that happening.
Mm.
Because I thought starting the day that we might be trying to work out what happened.
Mm.
So took them. And I thought I'd gotten rid of Dispel. I took Detect, but I thought I'd gotten rid of Dispel Magic. But I had that.
Ayla has no gold. Spend it all.
So I might. Okay.
Spend it all. I don't think it matters, but the 500 gold that I gave to the orphanage, I gave to Sister Taylor too. So like, who fucking knows what happened with that shit? I think you said I saw her put it in a container or something, but that doesn't mean she did something else with it later. So that'll be fun.
Probably a shulker box.
Yeah. a soul sack. She's hiding it somewhere.
Yeah.
Wait, so I'm looking at your spell list now, Jamie. Are all of
Yeah.
these spells ones that you've taken today?
Yep. Why?
Oh, you have so many spells.
Yeah. I have 20.
And you have more than that you can take as
My
well.
known spells is enormous. Yeah. 57 known.
Whoa.
But you can prepare 20 spells on between cantrips.
Oh no, it's not. No, yeah. Is it 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 20. Yep. And that's just
I know it's a lot. I mean, because we're
that's
level
what
what,
D&D Beyond allows me to do. Because if I hit prepare,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I've done enough, like when it's
Yeah,
told me
it
I've
won't
done
let you
enough,
select
it
more.
won't let
Yeah.
me select anymore.
Is the C next to the the R next to the C ritual cast?
Correct.
Yes.
So you can ritually cast detect magic and gentle repose.
And detect. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. But that takes time, obviously.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure. Or 11 minutes or something.
You're right.
Oh, I think it's 3 minutes. Is it?
It's
Is that what the 2-3 is at top of the spell slot?
no.
No, that's how many slots I've got left.
Huh.
It takes you. Was it 10 minutes
It's generally
plus
10
the
minutes
time it
or an
cast?
hour.
Unless it says specifically
what?
to ritually cast something, it takes 10 minutes plus however much time it takes to cast.
Unless stated longer.
Unless it
Alright.
tells
There
you.
are some.
Yeah.
Because there are some spells that take longer to cast than 10.
Gotcha.
But if I ritually cast it, it doesn't cost a spell slot,
Correct.
I believe.
Correct.
Yup. And I have that one sequence used for spells.
Yeah. My bad.
So you.
Boy.
So what characters did you guys pick for Diablo?
Sorcerer.
Necromancer.
Druid.
Druid. Yeah, they're you. I was thinking of going
Hulking.
Barbarian.
Yeah, nice.
What did Carrie go?
He's a barbarian.
Barbarian.
Yeah, and rogues
That's
are
all. Oh,
The
rogues
rogue.
apparently are
rogues
crazy
are
strong.
really strong. Yeah, rogues and
Yeah, they're-
necromancers are the two strongest right now.
Yeah, I read this.
It doesn't mean they won't balance them, right? But
No, apparently rogues are number one
Dru-
for leveling and number one for like late game stuff. Necromancers apparently fall off crazy hard.
yeah, and
late game.
druids get really strong late. They actually nerfed druids late game.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Yeah, I might go rogue actually.
Well, since going full werebear,
Bear.
I kind of do
Care Bear.
damage.
We're there. Okay.
I turn into a bear.
So, what would the three of you like to do?
I believe the answer to that question is Hall of Justice.
Hall of Justice. Very well. So you start to head over the Sleeping Dragon Bridge, back from the Black Lake District over to the Merchant District, where the Hall of Justice is located. And after a moment, you do get back to the large hulking building that is the Hall of Justice. Again, it is guarded out the front. Quickly enough, you're able to pull out your marble bar and kind of gain entry as you would normally, and head inside and find that young elven woman at the front desk that you have seen many times before. Well, not many times, a couple times before.
is going to go really well. I wonder if we can see Isa. We were responsible for the hag that's just been brought in, and we'd like to speak with her in regards to what's going to happen to it.
Isa Wiseman is currently in, but in regards to the hag that has just been brought in, I am aware of it, but Isa would probably not be the best person to speak to about this.
Okay.
Yeah, so whoever that
who-
might be, yeah.
Whoever might be the best person to speak to about it in that case.
Yeah, she mostly deals with the city, and the requests that come into the Hall of Justice. Joyce is the one that tends to take care of the actual military side of it. She's a member of kind of the council, and kind of manages the guard side of things. So I believe Joyce is in. She's actually in the keep at the moment, managing the hag that has just come in. So if you actually head out and around over to the keep entrance, you should find her there.
All right. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
So heading back outside of the main entrance to the Hall of Justice, you head back around to the large attached keep area of the Hall of Justice, which you have not previously been in before. This area is much more heavily guarded. There are crossbow guards up top. There is a large kind of chain or iron gate that it is pulled up and down. It is currently open as it is the middle of the day, but there are guards kind of walking in and out, kind of leaving, starting their shift or whatever. So you head inside, and as you walk into like the keep area itself, it is kind of what you'd imagine, where guards there's weapon racks and things like that. But there are kind of guards posted around, obviously watching everything that goes on. And you walk up to kind of like an open desk area, kind of at the back of this open area, where there is a male kind of armored person working the desk at this point.
Good morning. Sorry, just trying to think what time of day it was.
Good morning. How can I help?
We may have had something to do with the hag that was brought in
In a good way. Like
in a good
capturing
way.
them. Yeah. We're not Prince of.
And we were wondering if we would be able to speak to Joyce in regards to what may happen moving forward.
Definitely not their one phone call.
Correct.
Very well. Obviously, this is something that is being managed by the city guard at the moment. Do you have any sort of relevance in this situation other than being involved?
We fought her in a dream last night, and then
we have information
tried
on
to kill
her.
us.
Yes.
So I feel like our information might be pertinent to what happens with her going forward.
Especially if you're going to try her in any way, which seems insane to me, but I would like to share what our experiences.
Very
But
well.
would like to have this conversation with Joyce.
Okay, I will go get Joyce. One moment. And he'll head off into like the back room and
We fought her in a dream last night.
Yeah, this dude is just like, okay.
I had a
I was
dream
more
about
just trying to
her
find
and-
out who you were,
Ask a
sure.
dumb question, get a dumb answer.
or just provide the marble bar that says you're part of the Lord's Alliance, or has entry, or just
Yeah.
logically.
I was waiting for him
But
to...
we wouldn't be able to get in to that.
I'm sure we would have.
Thing lets you in so many places. Anyway, after a moment, he does come back out with an older woman, again in like an armored facade, and says, I've just been told that you were involved with the hag being brought in
Involved.
a while ago. What exactly? Sorry, are you looking at doing?
I'll pull out the marble bar and show her the marble bar just to show that we can be trusted.
Okay.
You don't
And
have
she goes,
you
"Oh, okay. Yeah, you
you don't
okay,
have it,
you
by the
are
way.
involved in the Lords of Lions." And
Whoever has it. Isn't it in the bag of holding?
I took it out.
Oh no, you fucking took it, didn't you? I looked for it and it's not there.
okay. So you've noticed that. Does Kira pull out the
Ayla?
bar?
Kira.
Ayla? Oh, wait, I thought Kira had it. Does Ayla have it?
Yeah, I
She took it when she snuck out.
Oh, that's right.
I'm gonna roll to see if I noticed kind of perceived what Tonk was doing, like reaching in the bag for. Yeah, sure. Rolled a 14 for 12. I think I would yeah. So I'll be like kind of internally panic there for a second and realizing I didn't put it back and be like, "Oh, yeah, I borrowed this." And then I'll show it to her. And then when she goes to hand it back, I'll give it back to Tonk.
And Joyce. Very well. Okay, so follow me. We are currently assessing the situation about what we should do. Your information that you have to bribe might be helpful. Please follow me. And she opens kind of like the side door and leads you in further into the keep. She leads you down kind of like a long corridor with doors on either side, and leads you into a back room where there is a kind of table that is it's would appear to be some sort of meeting room. And she sits down and says, "Well, if you have any information, please let me know, and this it'd be helpful to kind of know how to approach this situation, because to be honest, this is probably the first time we've had an actual hag that has been apprehended. But what exactly do you know?"
Well, as you can see, she's very, very dangerous.
Well, to be honest, she actually hasn't done anything since we've brought her in.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah,
We fucked her up.
so
Okay.
this is all going to sound very strange to someone who wasn't there. We were asked to stay at the orphanage last night,
Okay.
and as we drifted off, we were all brought into the same dreamscape
Okay.
where we fought this bitch
Right.
and removed her, killed her in the dream. I then was able to remove my friends here from said dream. They then heard the scream of Hilda at the orphanage, which then led them to the mangled body of what was Sister Taylor.
And what we now know as
What we now know is
that
the
same hag, yeah.
who we messed up in the dream. So, and she has been, she has been feasting on souls for a very, 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 very long time, judging by the amount of souls that were in her abode in this particular dreamscape.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any evidence to back this up? If I ask.
I'm going to pull the
skin sack out of the bag of holding.
Mhm.
This would be one of her, I believe the technical term is this whole bag. And I'm going to pull out a soul, the soul that's in the bag,
Right.
and then put it back in the bag.
Okay. Um.
You
As
can
you
even
might.
ask the children at the orphanage who you may not have known, but for months and months have been having nightmares and feeling weak and dying essentially. We spoke to one of them this morning, and since having dealt with this hag, they already feel better. So as much as we don't have much physical common evidence, some magical, you might not know what it is. There are many witnesses, and there has been an effect of what we have done. It's a different kind of evidence, but
And
it's
they've also
something we
mentioned
can.
they've also mentioned about seeing a witch in these dreams that they've been having. My feelings are that they will be able to ID the hag as the witch that they've been having the nightmares.
But these nightmares are manifesting a physical, ailment on
Experience.
on people, right? Like their life force is being drained from them as a result.
Hmm. Um. Would you mind if you left the item here for a moment? I might quickly go get uh, one of us lower level mages from the Hall of Justice, and they can identify this item, and we can know exactly what this is. Because as far as I'm aware, again, I am not a magical person, any sort of sort. But if we get them, we'll know exactly what it is. As for the orphanage, I will request some of the guards to go and speak to Sister Hilda and question her about what has happened. And as you have suggested, we will speak to some of the children about what they have been experiencing. As for the hag itself, we currently have it contained in some anti-magical manticles. Um, so it shouldn't be able to use any sort of magic. It still is in its hag form, but it is currently locked away, and we are. This will most likely end in execution, but we want to know as much as we can about this before proceeding.
Any, if you are going to do any questioning in regards to this hag, if she can give you any information around whether there was a Sister Taylor or where she may be, if there is some sort of a body. We believe this may have happened a couple months back. Some sort of a black fog storm that came from the lake.
We will make. We do have to question her. We first need to find out, I suppose, the exact information about what she is. Also, we will ask her about Sister Taylor. Also, what she has been doing to the children. And I suppose any other information that we can kind of get out of her.
She's very adept in the ways of Arcana. I would recommend having someone.
We know
On
we
site.
have some people that will be able to surpass her defenses per se.
Joyce, I have a quick question for you. and this is probably all for me. When a dragon lands in the middle of the city and wreaks havoc on hundreds of people, do you reason with it? Do you question it? Or do you deal with the problem?
In that situation, I suppose we deal with the problem.
Cool.
But if there's not anything else, I guess I'll quickly go grab one of our mages, and she stands up from the table and heads out kind of the door and goes through the process of getting someone in. They identify the soul bag itself, and it is indeed a soul bag. They give you the description of one, which is when an evil humanoid, when a humanoid dies as a result of a hag's nightmare haunting, it is caught in a soul bag that is made of stitched flesh. It can hold one soul at a time, and only the hag is able to kind of catch it in the bag. But other than that, they say once a soul has been captured, it can no longer be
Released.
released. Yeah.
Damn.
Sad.
Mm.
Sucks.
I was gonna, wondering if they could identify this, and I'm going to pull out the black gem.
They agree to identify it. They tell you it is called a Heartstone, and it allows the hag to become ethereal while it is in her possession. It also allows the hag to cure any disease cast upon it.
Well, it would be safe to say that it needs to be separated.
Correct. Which is why, because you had that, she wasn't able to plane shift away from the temple.
Cool.
Bitch.
Well, I guess is that.
Feel so cucked right now.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing we can do about it.
You haven't even asked a question.
What, me?
No, 3 of you. Never mind. Okay.
Oh, don't do this to us.
I mean, I know I want to ask, but
What are we gonna ask? Are we allowed to go and kill it? Can we go kill it, please?
No, I just
I
don't
was.
think. I don't know if I.
Is Joyce back?
Yes, Joyce was in the room while this was being identified.
Joyce, if the hag were to suddenly die on your watch, would this be problematic or helpful?
It would not be ideal, but look, the information you provided me, I'm assuming also with your frustration I can see, would you like to question the hag?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
I'm going to let you do it. I should have made you roll persuasion, but yes, you can go question the hag.
Oh, yes. Joyce,
Have mercy.
Check.
I'm-
Have mercy.
Ask
We're
the
not-
question.
Joyce, would you allow us to do this by any means necessary?
I am sorry, but I will not allow you to execute the hag, but you can question it for any information you do require.
Okay. Just got a couple of healing potions on me.
Don't let it die. All right.
Yeah, keep the gem
Beat it with an
in
infinite
your bag. Just now that we know that what that is, just make sure that they should even maybe leave it out here.
I
Are you
wasn't
okay
going
with
to take
that?
the Hearthstone in. There's no way I'm
Yeah.
taking the Hearthstone into her. No, not a chance. That's staying in the skin sack, and the skin sack staying with Joyce as we go in and question this person.
Okay, so Joyce leads you to one of the rooms that you passed earlier, and the room itself is barred and locked. Like this is a secure room, and she goes through the process of unlocking it, and inside the room is a picture an execution chair with locks and ankle straps, and she is strapped into this chair, and there are 6 guards surrounding, all with large great swords. And on the other side of a small stone wall is kind of like a desk and chair where you are able to sit and question. This is an interrogation room of sorts.
Where is she?
She's right in front of you.
You can't.
Oh, sorry.
She's right in front of you.
I thought you were right. I now realize you're doing.
Batman.
Yeah,
Please
you're
don't-
right.
yeah,
Yeah. I realize you're
Well, I don't understand you. Where is she?
I will say when you enter the room, she smiles.
The hag smiles.
Oh, I
Correct.
hate her so much.
Bitch.
Bitch better have my.
It would seem that we our paths keep crossing.
So it would seem.
What's your actual name so I can, say it in front of you?
Why should I tell you?
Well, I mean, might make us a little bit closer. You seem to know a lot about us. We don't know a lot about you.
I do now. You can call me Drina.
Drina?
Yeah. Drina.
Drina the Drainer.
Ah. The name goes with the face.
I think so.
So, what happened to Sister Taylor?
Oh, that pretty young thing. You know, new victim, new city. They sort of roll hand in hand.
So she was the first?
Of this city, yes.
New city. Where are you from?
Oh, all over per se, but not anywhere nearby here.
Who's the Parliament?
You don't know that.
Don't know? Oh,
She
hold
whispered
on.
that to Ayala
Oh,
as, she,
no, yeah,
as
no.
Ayala dealt the killing
Sorry.
blow.
I wrote it down, but I didn't realize it wasn't said to me. Never mind.
For that kind of stuff, you need to write it down, but in brackets, be like, but I don't
did.
know.
Yeah. Said to Ayala.
The Parliament would have a surrender. Yeah, I've got that.
Who's the Parliament?
Where is she?
Uh,
Well, I mean,
I mean, he
We'll get
was
we'll get our
accusing
turn. One at a time, Ayala. One at a
I
time.
don't have any other question. I don't know what else I was going to ask.
Tag me in.
One question. All right, we're done. Let's go.
No, there'll be
So
more.
wait, we have the bag of holding with us, but not.
We don't have the skin sack with the soul or the.
Yeah.
You left those in the room
We left them out. Yeah, with
with Joyce and
Joyce
the
Yeah,
and the mage.
yeah.
mage. Yeah, cool.
Sure enough.
In no way bringing that in here with her when we know what it is now.
Fair enough.
Trina, I am curious. What do you gain other than just the satisfaction of it? What do you gain from taking the souls of what I assume is innocents of all types, the young, the old, whoever? What do you gain from that?
What don't I gain? Satisfaction, a reason for living, for being alive. You know, once you find your purpose, everything becomes easy. My purpose was to bring fear to people. And I think I did my job.
Yeah, you did. I most certainly was afraid throughout that entire experience,
I can
watching my parents die.
tell. Ooh, as you say that, she like shivers and there's like a look of. She's like, oh, yes.
Mhm.
Getting off
Okay.
on
Fuck you now. Just found out why her hair is perpetually wet.
I find it interesting that you spoke to your purpose in the past tense.
I've
feel-
lived long enough and I've accepted my fate. Perhaps you should too.
So,
Not sure I have much of a fate just yet. Still working that out.
I don't think anyone does for what is coming.
what's coming?
Oh. Can't know too much.
But you've accepted your fate in the sense that you think you die.
I've done my part.
Who is Gazgul to you?
There's a look of disgust on her face. That weak name. A pathetic excuse for a god, if you ask me. One that truly doesn't understand the idea of death. There is one better, but not yet.
Is one better?
Kira pulls out the amulet out of the bag of holding. Well, it looks like a hand.
And she goes, so, you found a piece, did you? You found one of his altars.
And we took care of it. And
You
we still,
her face
we still,
is like, took care of it, sort of like, slightly like, what do you mean? Kind of like confused almost.
We still have the owl, the jade owl.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I'll take that out as well.
The throbbing totem.
Yeah,
Pulsing.
the throbbing owl next to the
I
ball
love that
bag.
you. I love that you
I-
correct him every time.
Every time. I will correct it every time.
So
I do
good.
not care. There's it's now a look of realization. Like, took care of it, looks at the hour, sort of thing.
Hmm. So you spoke of purpose, and we as a group certainly have ours, and we're quite capable as well, as you now know.
Do you
I
have a
assume
response?
you. I assume you don't need to respond. Give a shit. Fucking talking at you anyway, bitch. I assume you played a role in this parliament. Oh wait, I don't even know that either, do I?
Metagaming the shit out
The
of
one person that knows the most information is not saying a word and it's just
this.
I was waiting for the moment, the right moment.
Oh, I was already dead, right? Well, okay. Our question there about yes, we have our own purpose and we're quite capable. And each of us, you know, we play our own role in all of this. I think what has your role been?
did you go in the house? And she looks at three of you, and Tonk, your face kind of is the one that changes, and she then picks it out. Oh, so you saw. That was my place in all of this.
Have you told us about this, Tonk?
I don't think I have. It hasn't been really a time. So the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of souls. For what?
What'd you say? Sorry, the hundreds and hundreds of souls for what? Is that what you
Yes.
said? For what?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I
Just-
thought you were.
just
I thought you were
staring at
going to lead
you.
on to something.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
thought you were leading on to something.
No,
Um,
for what? No, just for what?
To appease the one who asks.
Is the one to ask the same as the one to come?
So poetic.
So smart for one who does not look so smart.
Can be quite surprising. Speaking of, I watched you die. Do you remember
I
that?
watched your parents die. Do you remember that?
I do. Surprisingly enough. That moment in which you died in front of me. I sensed a bit of weakness. I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but you said the Parliament will never surrender.
What? Who? What's this?
This Parliament?
Huh?
Did I dream something?
Sounds so familiar.
Yes, the Parliament. They will not surrender. And you will know soon enough the force and the power that comes with. For you should look for the one who controls the parliament.
So if I'm keeping tally, that's 3. 3 the ones. Just like individuals are all the same person.
Wait, what?
You've said the one to come, the one who asks, and then what was this one? The one
Oh, the one who controls.
who controls. Yeah.
I didn't even notice I was doing that. I was more just talking in presence of the one.
Mm-hmm.
There's one person, one
It
thing.
was like the
One God to come.
7 horsemen.
Yeah.
No. Like
The one who comes, the one who
Yes.
goes, one who's late.
no. It's like the one that is
Sleepy,
Mhm.
happy,
she's
dopey.
referring to. There is one that she is referring to.
Doc.
It's always
Copy.
Doc. It's always Doc.
Well, I know, like I said, you have done your job quite well. But it sounds like you're being used. A purpose that I'm not sure that I would quite be in in for, but this parliament that won't surrender comes at the cost of your life and your purpose. Correct?
Being used and playing a part are two sides of the same coin. But my purpose was to do what I've done, and having completed that, I no
mean,
longer need to be here.
did you complete it though? I mean, we came in and foiled you.
And as good as we are, and we are quite good. We're still kind of a bunch of nobodies. We made
Yeah, it was
pretty
kinda easy.
short work of you.
It's just a shame you couldn't get to me sooner.
I mean, we've been in the town for a day.
You have, but you haven't stopped the 851 lives I've taken beforehand. So in comparison,
Coffee, bitch.
I've done my part. And after she says that, she closes her eyes and just sits back.
Really,
Jesus.
yeah. $151 sounds so. Like, it just doesn't sit right. Surely it's like 900 or 850 or 1,000.
Just
What did you leave in the other room?
1.
851. You
Right.
took one from her, like the one that she had on her. That was her 851st.
Hmm. Well, I know. I think don't have anything else, but I'll be happy to watch you die again.
Like that's too
She
easy.
doesn't open her eyes or like answer at this point. She's basically just kind of like done with this conversation. She feels that she's given enough.
Wish I had something else. Okay.
You guys exit the room.
Yeah, I think so.
Power word
Yep.
kill.
Smack her in the face with the marble bar that we have.
Don't
No, just
throw
like-
it at him.
What a little bitch.
Mm.
I'm assuming you head back to the room to go grab the thing, or
Mhm.
not, or you leave it with
Joyce?
them.
Ah, I'm leaving them in the.
Don't think
Yeah, I mean,
we should leave it with them. No.
No.
Yeah.
Very
no,
well.
we'll go back and pick it up.
I'm not gonna roleplay that. So you go back and you do ask for it back, and Joyce does ask if she can keep it, but is not going to kind of pressure and put like force you to hand it over. But because she already knows what they are, and she doesn't necessarily feel that it is super crucial in her investigation that is to come. But you head back out of the Neverwinter Keep.
We'll let her know that she admitted to taking 851 souls as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, majority of the information that was shared in that room would have been passed on to her anyway.
Yep.
Because
Oh, those guards and stuff. Yeah.
there were 6 other guards in that room, so they would have heard
Yeah.
everything there.
Right.
But you head out of the Neverwinter Keep, and you are free to do what you want.
I would say that I would have asked Joyce if and when they do execute her, that if we could be an audience, like can we be there for that?
Yeah, and she probably would have said that she would notify you when they're going to, if and when they're going to.
Not if.
Or if there's a
If and when they're going to.
ask Joyce if there was a more painful way rather than execution that they could think of, because she wants to die.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, the first thing that came to my head was burning her at the stake.
That's fair. I still feel like she's going to laugh her way through that, though.
which is fine. She just needs to die. She just can't exist anymore.
I feel like we need to go back to the Hall of Knowledge and talk to someone there in regards to who might be coming.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know what knowing gets us though.
Preparedness, I don't know.
Yeah.
If there's a way, there wouldn't be a way to get back into that dreamscape, but
We could ask them about a couple things. They know anything
I don't
about
know.
this parliament, possibly?
Yeah, I guess we could ask the question of Byvander, his current
Byvander.
histories.
But
Or
hang on a minute.
Or we just say our work here is done as much as we have and then go and find Elric.
So Drina looked down upon Gazgul,
Mm-hmm.
but it was that like owl was a kind of symbol or a gift from Gazgul to I didn't fucking write his name. The guy that wore the amulet, yeah. Someone Neverwinter.
I wrote his name down to the king.
I think he was just the king, wasn't he?
No, he had someone.
Dagalt, Neverwinter. King
There you
Dagalt.
go. Dagol.
Dagol.
Yeah, Lord Dagol. Never Ember.
That's it. Never remember.
Lord
Yeah, he was like
Ember.
doing stuff to like resurrect his daughter, whatever. But that was like through Gazgul. But you found the pit of skulls in the house of Drina,
I did.
but she was saying like it's kind of like what she was saying had nothing to do with Gazgul, but someone else. She had another deity or god or whatever.
Mm.
But it's a similar like emblem thing that she had on her like the eye in her hand, but what Neverember was wearing. But that was through. Yeah, we think that's through Gazgul, but now we think that she's through something else. But it's
To find out what these pits were, whether they're a transferation, like a transfer pit, like is that where
life forces are being
like if
donated to a cause. They're going they're powering something, or they're
are the
doing
bodies being
something.
thrown? Like was that where Sister Taylor was she thrown in there and then her soul transported to the hag's house? I don't know. Are we?
Uh,
I don't know. I don't really know where to. Like, I guess the hag is now finished. Like, it's sort of the book ended in terms of what we can do with her. So, I guess the question for us is: do we want to look into the Parliament, and then who would be the best to speak to about that? Because that sounds pretty big. If something's coming, we want to know about that. And then I think
I have a feeling no one's going to know about that, but
maybe we go and ask the question. Maybe we go and ask the question, and then
it
at least it's
it
then
can
done.
never hurt.
It can't. It can only help to ask the question. At least it then removes the questions that we've got, I guess, and then we can go to Loscan from here. Head out there today. Also, did we notice? Did I notice Ayla having the marble wire?
Well,
Putting it back in like.
No, I gave it back to you.
no,
You
she gave it back to you. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you looked for it. She realized because Crab rolled for it and then gave it to you and said, "Oh, here, I took this," and then gave it back.
I feel like on the way to the House of
House of Knowledge. Can have a little chat.
I'd ask Ayla. I swear I had this in the bag of holding. Like, what was? Yeah. What's happening? Why did you have it?
Well,
That's not an issue. I'm more curious than anything.
yeah, I just borrowed it in case I got caught. I wanted to make sure that I have an out. Yeah, so last night, right after you guys fell asleep, I couldn't sleep, and I just had a lot on my mind, and I went and spent some time at Grinny's. I had some questions and some things that I wanted to talk to them about.
Okay. Did you get the
And
answers?
that's where I saw her go, right?
Did you get the answers you were looking for?
In some ways, yeah, in some ways, I got had some good conversations with her, and you know, on the surface level, I mean, I think you guys probably gathered that she's not quite who she presents herself as. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, like there's just maybe it's just because she's also a tiefling, but there was just something I couldn't shake from my mind about her, and I just compelled to go see them after the awful night that we had.
Crab.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you if there's anything different about your appearance today?
Mm-hmm. There is.
Is there anything? There is.
Mhm.
Okay. Kira would notice
I was gonna
your
say
insanely high passive perception. Ayla's tail has been out the entire day.
I feel like Tonk would notice that as well.
Yeah, you would have.
Like, I
Yeah,
feel
your,
like
your passive
feel-
perception is pretty high too, isn't it?
no, it's more
And
like the
just
fact that like I've spent a
being
lot of
Ayla,
time with
yeah.
Ayla. Like it's
Mhm.
like
No, you have
Yes.
to roll.
you do not realize.
Do it, roll.
Ah.
Roll.
It's, you
roll
know,
Tom.
it's funny. Like you mentioned that. I feel like something was different because I see that you've had your tail out today.
Yeah, the conversations I had last night led me to think a little more about who I am and accepting that. Which it's been something that's quite hard for me, given that I don't know a lot about who I am. And then the times as an impressionable kid spent with my parents, for their own safety, I felt that I had to hide that or pretend to be something else. And then just in the world in general, after meeting with you, like continuing to be an outcast because of who I am. Not that I hold it against people, because that's just kind of normal to kind of stare at the freak shows that exist. But I think the beginning for me is accepting that myself, whatever that might bring.
No, I like it. I think it's a very mature
Don't say
way
that
of looking at it.
just yet.
Okay. Is there more?
No.
Inside check.
Pause from that dramatic effect.
18.
So you can roll deception or persuasion. Your choice. You just say the result.
$20.
Oh,
Okay.
damn it.
You can't tell.
Okay. Okay.
But if there's nothing else, while on having this conversation on the way to the House of Knowledge, you arrive, show the entry bar again, as it is still technically closed to the public. And who do you go and find, Ivandil or Bavana?
I'd like Bavana.
I feel like Bavana might be the way to go first. At least we'll be able to understand
More
what
current.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you end up going back up to the second level, where Ayala leads you to where she originally found Bavana, and it takes you a moment, but you do find him. He is doing what he was doing the other day, skimming through, looking for books, doing general knowledge-based stuff. I tried to find the word, I couldn't think of it.
Knowledge duties.
Knowledge-based stuff is great.
I want to say clergy, but I know that's for like
Academic.
academic. That is the word I was looking for. Academic.
Academia.
Yeah. But you find him, and he notices you approaching. Again, walking up on this extremely tall, lanky elven man. Hello again.
It's so calm.
What can I help you with?
I love this guy.
Well, these are my friends. This is Tonk. This is Kira. And
Lovely to meet you.
we have come across some more information we would like to ask you about. Maybe be relevant to your studies, or would definitely be relevant to us if you don't mind.
All knowledge is good knowledge. Please ask away.
Getting cult vibes from the bloke. I'll start. Did we show him? No, I don't.
Ayla was,
The
the,
amulet.
Ayla was the only one who spoke to him, and I don't think Ayla showed.
I'll gesture to Kira.
I'm
to
pretty sure you
show-
showed it to Avandil. I think.
Yeah, we did. I think we did. I'll
But didn't
gesture.
ask.
Didn't ask who it was.
And I'll quickly clarify something because this is something that you guys have been speaking about that I think may have been lost. When Ivandil was explaining about the amulet, he said that it was. I believe the words I used were it was linked to Gazgul
Right.
Right.
and was not a direct symbol of Gazgul, as the symbol of Gazgul is a crescent moon.
Yes. No, I think we realized that we butchered the questioning of Evandil last time.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll have to go back and
Oh.
rewatch and say exactly what it was, but there may have been some miscommunication, but
Mm.
it is not a symbol of Gazgul. It is a link.
I remember you telling us that it was the crescent moon.
Yes.
The crescent moon was Gazgul.
And then when I
it
did go
wasn't Mara.
ask him, I didn't have the amulet with me, but I explained. I don't believe I did, but I explained what it was and asked him about it. Not Evandil, but the brother,
And
Ivana.
he didn't.
Ivana. Yeah,
And he didn't know.
he did. He did. He understood
Mhm.
and said that that it wasn't the symbol of that, it was linked to him, and
Right.
that it was kind of representation of Gazgul in some way, if I remember that right.
Oh yeah, I've got it here. Amulet was partially
Oh, there you go.
related to Gazgul.
There you go.
Wife left Lord because of Amulet.
Mm.
That was all written down very, very quickly because of the conversation that we had with Evander. So I couldn't read it.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what was the question to Bhavana? Sorry.
I was going to gesture to Kira to show Bhavana the amulet.
Well, it's in the bag of holding. I
Oh,
put
okay.
all
I'm
of
going
it
to
back in the bag.
pull the amulet out of the bag of holding and show it to Bhavana and say, "Do you know what this is in terms of the symbol?"
Bhavana takes the amulet and kind of gets a good look at it, and goes, while this iconography is not directly related to the god of death, Gazgul, it has been pictured in certain areas of known worshippers of Gazgul, which led us to believe that there is a link in some sort of way between this iconography and Gazgul as a deity. What exactly that link is, we are unsure.
Did Gazgul? Do you know if Gazgul had any demigods?
Accomplices, other gods.
Yeah, close followers that are mentioned in any of history's past.
There is a very brief inscription, and he quickly kind of scrolls over and moves some books around and looks for something, and he pulls out a small scroll and opens it and reads out that before the destruction of the upper deities, majority of the upper deities' temples, there was a supposed relationship between a mortal and Gazgul. This scripture says that he ascended from his throne and took this mortal for his own. But beyond that, we do not know anything else.
The mortal ascended from his throne.
No. Gazgul ascended
Gazgul.
from his throne.
Do you know, say, where that happened? Where did it take place?
To be honest, there is not much information more than this. As I mentioned to you last time, I have more of a specialty in current, and this, while some 400 years ago, is still current in Faerun's history. But to be honest, it is quite strange that there is not more information about this.
Are there
Is this
any?
something that-
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. You go.
Is there any group of people called the Parliament that you know of?
I'm sorry, the name does not mean anything to me.
Inside check? Sure. 25.
Telling truth.
What a roll.
Could have done with that insight check when I was talking. Is this something that would your brother perhaps know any more, or?
He might know more about Gazgul as a deity itself, but this particular case about any relationships that Gazgul had, I don't think so. This is a very clouded subject, and it is honestly something that has plagued many a scholars, as there's no information much more than what is written here.
Is is there like a name or an inscription of someone who wrote the information down about Gazgul taking a mortal as his own?
There is only an initial.
Okay.
It says GH. But unfortunately, there's nothing more than that.
Do those initials ring any bells for anyone?
Could be 100 different initials.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fair. Yeah. All right. Well. I think I remember being told Lord Dagalt wife left him because of the amulet. Is she's not around anymore, is she?
I believe she left Neverwinter, and that was only some 50 years ago, so there is a chance she's still around, yes.
Is there any chance you might know where she resides?
I only know she headed north.
She headed north, okay.
What was her name?
Lordess Neverember.
Yep, let's go
Yeah,
with that for
she'd be a
now.
she'd be a baroness, wouldn't she?
Tiva. Tiva Never Ember.
TiVo.
Tever.
Tiva. Tiva.
Boom, nailed it.
Like diva.
Diva like diva.
Okay, well, I mean that's something to go on. Is there was there anyone that she was friendly with, or that she may have told where she was going in more detail, other than just north?
I don't believe so. After she lost her child and her husband turned to darker dealings, she kind of cut ties with everyone and just left.
Was that their only child?
That was their only child, yes.
Are there any staff members, that like servants or cooks or anything that might still live in town that were part of the king's?
To be honest, almost
Almost.
everyone that worked in the castle died and perished.
Okay. No, well,
Sh-
Fernando, thank you very much for your time. I don't have any other questions. Does anyone else have anything else?
Was she from the north? Is that where her family was from?
I believe so, yes.
Makes sense. I do have one more. I don't know if we've told him, but we kind of spilled the beans about kind of what we've been doing the last night. And about the hag specifically. Do you know of, or is there any recent history on this hag in particular? Her name was Drina.
I'm sorry, we don't keep specific information about
Yeah.
individuals like that. So I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, I was kind of wishful thinking on my part. She seems to be involved on a bigger scale than just an ordinary monstrosity or creature of the wild. Just hoping, I guess, that someone might have reported something.
You don't know Tiva's maiden name by any chance?
Gilly. Refer to my
G-I-
random name generator.
Gilly.
Gylley.
Oh my goodness!
I'm just reading how it's spelled here.
Why do they make it so difficult?
I don't know.
Gyllehey. Gilly.
How do you say it? Gil.
You have to pronounce the H's too.
Gilly.
Golly.
They're not silent.
It's pronounced.
She's
Yeah, you
elf,
really got
so-
to add some phlegm in there.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
Holly.
It's Arabic.
Ahmed.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gilly Ahmed.
Oh,
Gilly
Phlegm.
Ahmed the Dead Terrace. So good.
All
Big
right.
Bad's new name is Ahmed.
Yay.
Hello, my name's Ahmed.
I'll give him a high
Oh.
five. Let's go.
Thanks, Bhavana.
No problem.
That's very helpful.
I'm glad to have been of service.
And do we go and try and find Evandil, or do we just? Do you think he's going to give us any more information? Oh no, we'll
You
look
get
for
the idea that
Evandil on the way.
You get the idea that he's not going to provide you any more information than what has already been provided.
Okay.
Bhavana was the correct person to speak to.
He'll be fun to talk to. Let's just go find him.
No, no, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. Ben did too good a job.
He's
All
a
right.
werewolf. He doesn't come out at night.
Full
A
moon.
huge werewolf, like an elf werewolf. That's 7 foot tall.
Tiva.
That'd be dope.
Tiva Gilly.
Yep.
Cool.
That's the name I
Yep.
had planned out.
I like it. Well, I think that's really all the information that we can get from here at the moment, yeah? Kira? Ayla? Shall we pack our bags for Luskan?
Yeah, I don't want to stick around in the hopes that they actually do execute this hag. I would love to see her die, but I guess we just gotta trust these dumbasses. They're actually gonna do something.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm starting to get concerned about Elric.
yeah, same. Yeah, and it's been
it's kind of strange without him, to be fair.
Well,
agreed.
and it's
Peaceful.
more.
Strange.
It's been 3 days since
3
he's
days?
left. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and
Probably dead.
yeah, I have no
Could be
idea,
dead.
right? Like I don't know the context around him needing to rush off. So
One of the-
and
one
you
of-
guys
one of
know
the
it
bags.
takes at least 3 days to travel from Neverwinter to Luskan.
Okay. Well, I suppose we'll just head on the way to
Jesus.
get everything organized and get on the way to Luskan.
Mm-hmm. Very good. To be honest, we might end it there because I don't really have anything else prepped. If I'm being totally honest,
We don't run into
Um,
bandits.
can
I mean, I can whip up a combat if you'd like, real quick. It would be super stuffed.
So, do we run into the teenage bandits again? I want to kill one of them this time.
are we saying that we did go ahead and travel?
Send a
And we
message.
would've-
Oh,
we
fuck.
become we can or starting
Well-
next session in Lost Con, or are we just kind of waiting?
I don't know. I need to speak to
We'll
Dale.
roll.
I need
Yeah.
to speak to Dale because I've sent him a bunch of stuff because I really need to speak to him to work out first of all how did he get to Luskan, because there's actually a couple of options as to what I've given him as to how he gets there. And he theoretically, if it's only 3 days, he would only have just been getting there probably. Meaning that you guys are then 3 days behind, meaning he has 3 days to do whatever he wants. There is an alternative where he is able to get there quicker, meaning he has more time. I need to work out what he's been doing while he's there, which I've sent him stuff for. And to work out how you guys are going to get there, I need to speak to him first. So
Okay.
currently,
Pen in it.
dot point.
We're at
internet?
the gates. We're at the gates leaving Neverwinter.
Yes, is how I'm going to play it. And then obviously, based on what happens with that conversation,
rucksacks.
I will speed run it, and you guys will roll 3 d20s,
What's-
and on 3 successes, you make it there in 3 days.
And
Nice.
and we it's basically it would
fail.
mean it must be like afternoon or maybe
Right
late
now?
late
Oh,
afternoon
yeah,
for
yeah.
us. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we
yeah,
spent
late after.
4 or 5
most
and
of the
11,
day
So
over
so
here.
theoretically, you could get there. I don't know. You could get there by like the day after tomorrow evening,
Yeah.
if you traveled quick and well.
Yeah.
Um.
I will say quickly
Some of us
on
are
my
pretty nice.
on my check that I rolled against you, Jamie,
Yeah.
you know what my wisdom is, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
you
Alright.
you got a natural 20. Yeah.
No, I did not get a natural 20.
Oh,
So, yeah, I would have said I got a natural 20. I was about to
oh,
say.
that's fair.
And then Joel, you would know that that's not the only place I stopped. Was Grinny's?
No, I stopped following you.
No, you followed
No,
me
no,
too,
you followed her to the next place.
and then left
And then
about
you
an hour
left
later.
An hour later, correct?
Oh. Oh yeah.
But I don't know any different.
You don't know any different.
No.
And what place
Just
was that
you as the
again?
players.
That was, I don't know if you got the name, but it was a place in the Tower District. It was
Yeah.
a tavern in the Tower District.
Yeah,
Fair
that
enough.
sounds familiar.
Was there a name on the front? I can't remember. There
I
may
don't,
have been.
I don't.
I don't see why there wouldn't have been.
Right. I don't think
It was called the Baron's Keep.
The what?
The Baron's Keep.
The Baron's Keep. Actually, that sounds. Maybe you
It
did
should
say
sound familiar because there wouldn't be a reason why it wasn't
right any other way. Yeah.
written on the actual tab. So
I didn't write it down because it wasn't. It didn't
apply to you.
apply to me.
You were asleep.
I was asleep.
For recovering from being in a dream.
Correct.
Dreaming of a dream.
Dream in a dream.
Freaking
Spent too much time in a dream. Now I'm tired. Oh yeah, overslept.
the freaking humans, man, politicking me, pissing AL off, man. Just wanted to kill the hag.
Just wanted to kill the hag.
Just wanted to kill her.
The situation brought it to that. Okay, it was.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. That I mean,
Oh.
obviously they're not gonna want like if they didn't have the
Hold
experience
on, let me
that we
execute this
had.
creature in the middle of the street with 30 people watching.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And if you
I
didn't
mean-
have the information that we had about this creature, and she wasn't fighting. She wasn't fighting to get away. She wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
Mm.
I completely get it, but
Doesn't change the fact we wanted to kill her.
I still wanted to.
She rolled an 18 and
All
19
I
and
wanted-
20 on the same die, on the same
All
roll.
I wanted you to do when you spoke to Joyce was to just ask her, "Can we please speak to the hag?" You didn't
Mhm.
ask her.
I didn't think that she would. It didn't even pop in my head.
To be honest, I didn't think. it
Well, I was going to make you roll a persuasion check, but then it didn't go anywhere. So I was like, I'm just going to give it to him.
Have mercy.
You have to lead the dog to the bone.
True.
We're a blind dog.
We're blind, drunk.
That's all right. It's just honestly, it's a skill
Yeah.
that needs to be like worked, and it'll get better.
Hmm.
So that's fine.
That's what I keep
That and
telling myself
remembering
too.
we've got this freaking marble bar. It's just in everywhere.
Yeah, that would we go to some other town and just flush the marble barge. Be like, oh,
What the
we're
fuck
allowed
is
in here.
We're allowed in
What the
here.
fuck is that?
And we
When I-
forget them. We're like, oh, and then we just like bash them with it.
To
Not
be
his head.
clear, the Marble Bar works in any Lords Alliance city
Mhm.
for
wrote them-
like government
down.
official buildings.
Lost Khan is one of them.
Laskan is a city of the Lords Alliance. Yes.
Yeah. And Mayville is the bloke at Lost Khan we can talk to. I wrote that down.
At their equivalent Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, because there's Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Luskan, Mirabar, and Baldur's Gate are all cities inside
Mm.
the Lords Alliance. But yeah,
Nice one, Ben.
Good stuff.
sorry if that was a bit more scuffed than usual. It kind of threw me.
Yeah,
'cause I had
different plans
I had a bunch
altogether,
of
right?
Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff ready for next week, or what would have been this week's session, but that's okay. We will get to do it next week, and I can then work on more stuff and be more prepared, like first and last names of people's wives that I didn't expect to have to come up with on the spot.
It's a thing now for me that like
I feel
if
like she's gonna be important. I feel like she's gonna know stuff.
if I don't know the
Yeah,
name of
yeah,
somebody-
and to be honest, I should have thought of that name beforehand. I just didn't even think about it until it was asked. So
You're welcome.
now she's officially known as Tiva Gilly for the rest of the campaign.
She was Tiva
I
Neverender.
came up with such a good name for the dude, Dagolt Neverember.
Yep.
I was so happy with that.
That's a good
and
one.
Now that's the name she gets.
I think Tiva's hot. Like I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah,
it being like
yeah.
yeah. I can imagine like Tiva being
Yeah.
a Baroness's name.
I'd bang a Tiva.
Or, no, what is
I'd-
she? A lady?
bang
She'd
a
be a
Tiva.
lady, wouldn't she? She'd be Lady Tiva Neverember.
Well, it is Lord, yeah. So I guess
Yeah,
it would
be lady.
Lord
Yeah.
and lady.
Lady.
Also, Crub, 100% get the Lilith mummy thing. 100%.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
There was what was the cutscene I watched the
what?
other there was a recent cutscene.
Oh
where
yeah.
she did something, and I was like, "Yep, I get it, mummy. I
Yep.
love it." Yeah,
Uh,
so I'm on the same
Mummy?
page as you. I'm on the same page as you there.
What, the Lilith mummy? I don't
Mummy,
understand.
mummy.
There's a certain thing about Lilith that just tickles a certain thing. For you. Just don't look it up on.
Tickles a certain thing.
Yeah,
What
if
do
you
I look
Google
it
it,
up
if
on?
you Google Lilith mommy, I can't be I
Mummy.
can't be responsible for that Google search.
Mommy.
I'm 100% googling this. Is it spelled MOMMY or MUMMY?
Yeah.
MOMMY. Us Americans are way more into the debauchery.
Mommy.
Mommy.
Do I go images or do I go
I mean,
YouTube video?
images might be risky.
I'm just
But
gonna
that's-
do images.
That's all that matters. So
Who's Lilith? Who are you talking about?
She's the demon queen. in
Demoness.
Diablo 4.
Yeah.
I'm not really seeing what I don't know. What am